Let's get it straight. You're in France, you don't know how to code,
Mm.
and you're just willing to spend money to build an app. I would say don't do it. I would propose another way. Find a technical co-founder. You need someone you can trust with the code because you don't understand the code yourself. If you don't trust the person who wrote the code for you, no matter how good the code is written, you don't know and you're not going to trust them. You need really good soft skills because without soft skills, you cannot convince them. At least I show you that it's not just an idea. It's already something that is going on. And right now I cannot do it alone and I need a partner. Elon Musk was very rich since he was a kid. They are showing the story to make them look better. All those rich billionaires that we have now, they were rich before. Having that money means you also have connections. That is kind of a very rich circle, so it's easier for you to start. So I started from front end because it was easier and I thought backend was hard. Now mostly I'm doing backend and I think backend is easier than front end. But once you understand that part, doing backend is very, very easy. But the advanced stuff of a front end are super tough. I have a lot of respect for people that are doing advanced front end because it's very tough.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Job Story. Today I'm very excited because we have a special guest, someone who is one of the best junior developers that I know. Please welcome to the mic, Mr. Suleyman Hanvvey.
Thank you for having me.
Bro, you're so special that I'm clapping for you.
I don't know why you did that, but yeah, thank you.
I hope I didn't destroy your surname.
It's okay, it's okay. You got it right. It's fine.
Before starting, I would like to thank you for coming. I'm very happy to have you here. You can see that, you can feel it. And I'm honored. I believe that you're gonna debug some myths for us today.
I'm curious to see what questions you have me, so let's start.
You know, usually when people think about a software engineer, they imagine a kid in the baseline coding at age of 5. Was that you?
Not at all. I started coding in university. I wanted to start in high school, but I always had other interests above coding. So I was more interested in maths when I was in school. And I thought to be a math professor actually. And my first year in university was in math degree, but then I changed to computer science, and that's how I ended up where I am now.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were great in math?
I was good. I was good.
It was good.
I really liked it.
Does your family has history in tech?
Not really in tech, but my uncle was always interested in buying new tech stuff. So whenever I would go to his house, he would always have these shiny MacBooks or like new phones, or he would buy some tech, sell some tech, fix some tech himself.
Yeah.
So it was the only member who was interested, but other than that, I don't think I had someone that was a developer in our family. So I'm the first.
Mm. So what or who inspired you to get into this journey?
So the reason I switched from math to computer science was more practical.
Yeah.
In math, it's very one-dimensional. You finish math, you then continue with your PhD, with your master's, with your doctorate, and then you stay as a math professor and do research. But in computer science, I saw that it's a much bigger field where I could still use my math skills and still find something that is more fun if I get bored. So it was an inspiration of, oh yeah, I can do this long term, but math I cannot. So that's why I switched.
Okay, so do you want something practical that you perform something and after a period of time you see the outcomes, the result?
Exactly, yeah. That was the second reason as well, because it's less theoretical, even though you still need to, use your brain, fix the bugs, etc. But you can see changes or your impact right away. Like you build an app and you see what it's doing.
So what in your computer science journey, maybe in the beginning, when you started, what was your first haha moment? Like the moment that you did something and you realize like, whoa, that's exactly what I want to do the rest of my life.
I think my first year in university, I didn't really know if I was gonna enjoy this because it was like the first year is always tough. So it was not a aha moment.
Yeah.
And we started with Java.
Yeah.
And I think Java as a first language is not a good language to start with. It's very painful. So maybe in the second year when we switched to C++ and it was more about the algorithms and explanation of how computers work, why they work that way, and how languages work, it was like, okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
And in the third year in university, they made us write our own programming language, where I could literally see what each line of code will be doing. And that was like, okay, this is fun. Like, first year, not fun at all. Second year, it was getting there. Third year, I was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be what I'm gonna do.
So in the third year,
Yeah.
you said, this is my thing.
Yeah, I decided that I want to stay here. But each year, I was like, maybe I should go back to math or something like that.
It's like, but in computer science, you have also like many mathematical courses or
Our university was very theoretical in math as well.
Mm.
So we had calculus, differential equations, like all the high level maths, but
Yeah.
of course not as a math degree.
Okay.
So it was still pretty math heavy, I would say.
So before knowing like the algorithm, how it works, you know, we heard a lot, like before learning the courses, like, oh, this is stuff, algorithm. Even when you just heard the name, you were a bit afraid. But after having the course, no, after getting the course, you still have the same, the same judgment about the algorithm. You still feel like it's tough, or you think like it's just people are talking just too much about it.
I say it depends on the level of learning, because
Yeah.
now that I studied algorithms, I would say they're pretty easy. But before I studied algorithms, I was also, oh yeah, this is kind of hard. I have no idea. But at the same time, I know that there are algorithms that I still don't understand.
Okay.
Like, because they are very, very optimized and they require very vast knowledge of other fields. But the simple ones, for example, binary search, it sounds very cool.
Yeah.
But if I explain to you like you're 5 years old, you will quickly like, oh, okay, it's just a logical path to reach the goal.
Exactly. I think that's the good definition of algorithm, like the logical part of the step-by-step procedure just to solve a problem.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't, like, not because you're stupid, but it's just tough to understand the logic that makes you reach the goal. Probably if we look at the algorithms of Google Maps, we're not going to understand it in an hour.
Yeah.
Someone would need like a month to explain it to us, because there are all the inputs, outputs, cars, walking, skating.
Kilometer.
So yeah, the algorithms there, I don't think I would understand them right now.
Yeah, but at least the basics of understanding of algorithm was not something like mysterious.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Like, it just, how we make everything sound smarter, like, because you need to give a name to an algorithm, right? And then if I say binary search again, then you're like, oh, that sounds very complicated. But then if you look at it, it's like, oh, okay, you do A and then you do B and then you find the thing you need. That's it. And it's actually a very simple thing.
Yeah.
But just because the name is complex, you're like, oh, okay.
You feel like, okay, this is something that I have a big brain
Totally, yeah.
to understand it.
Yeah, but I think it's much easier than we think it is.
Okay, let's clear up something also that confused like everyone, even people in the industry. So if you look up on LinkedIn, you will see people who are doing, I can say, typically the same job, but some of them define themselves as a programmer, others as a software developer, others as a software engineer. So how you all three? Is there any differences, or are the same, or it's just a way to sound fancier?
I think it really depends on the country.
Okay.
For me, they're all the same.
Okay.
Because they work with code. It's just, I would say engineering is a bit, like, engineering includes programming already. But engineering itself means that you know how hardware works, how maybe some engineering, like electronic parts work. So it's a bit of a higher thing. But no one cares about it. Like, it's more theoretical, because in our university we had computer engineering and a programming degree. In computer engineering, we studied more theory. We studied why computers work that way, and then how do programming languages actually work, like the underneath logic of them.
All the binaries, 0 and 1. And
yeah,
stuff.
all the stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, after graduation, we did programming.
Okay.
But the other degree, the programming, directly started with programming. And they, after graduation, went for programming. I would say 80% the same. Just if you studied, for example, computer engineering, you have that background knowledge to go more theoretical. But if you're a programmer, it will be tough to do a master's, I don't know, in some hardware computational stuff. So yeah, but at the same time, I would say it's the same.
It's the same. Okay. Depending on the concept.
Depending on what you do.
Okay.
Maybe if you're in research, there are no programmers in research. There are computer engineers.
Yeah.
But if you're in the field, you're just a guy who's doing full stack engineering, you're a programmer. And you're also a computer engineer. Fine. Like, name yourself whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
How do you define yourself?
I define myself as a full stack engineer.
Full stack engineer.
Or a full stack programmer. To me, I don't really mind.
So full stack, what you actually do, like, what is the job of a full stack engineer?
So for me, I work with front end and back end.
Yeah.
So I just jump from task to task. Like if there's a bug needed to fix on the front end, I go there. And then if I need to connect back end to it, I write the APIs that will connect to it. Or I connect the databases, make sure that the schemas and everything is in order.
So what is more difficult, front end or back end in a software development project?
So I started from front end because it was easier, and I thought back end was hard. But now mostly I'm doing back end, and I think back end is easier than front end. It depends on the level. The entry level of the front end is really, really easy. You don't need a degree at all to learn the basics of the front end. The back end, you go once you understand how front end works, because you see the website, you say, oh, I changed the color, it's like, oh, it's now red. Cool, you understand it. So the back end is a bit tough, like how do I deploy it? How do I put it on the server? How does it work? Okay, it works locally, but what? But once you understand that part, doing back end is very, very easy. But the advanced stuff of a front end are super tough, because browser on Windows might work differently than a browser on macOS. There are bugs that you will not expect. Because front end is the part where the user is talking to you, and user never talks to the back end, right? It's the front end that talks to the back end. Back end is easy, like it's from point A to point B. But on front end, you need to guess, is the user actually going to go from point A to point B? What if he presses this button, but then goes somewhere else and clicks this button 3 times? What is my website going to do? Okay, what if he, while doing it, clicks refresh? Are we canceling it? So there are many more edge cases when you're going advanced. Like it's super complicated, and I have a lot of respect for people that are doing advanced front end because it's very tough.
By the way, it sounds very interesting, but because all those those functionality operation, when we're using a website or an application, we take it for granted. You just do something, you click for a button, you send your request, probably 10 of you doing the same thing in the same moment and getting the same result. You feel like, oh, this is magical, oh, this is easy stuff that they were building the application. But now you're saying that it really sounds like something,
Advanced front end is insane because like the landing page where it's very static, it's easy. You don't need to know coding for that. But if you're building an application that it has, let's say even just 100 users, you need to know that the users will behave the way you want them to behave. Because when you're building the code, you think, oh, okay, I'll press this, I'll do this, I'll input, let's say there's an input field to fill a form, and you will expect that everyone will fill up their names and no one will include anything bad. But then what if they include plus, minus, comma, etc.? Like that's an edge case. You need to think about it. And that's just one part of a whole website. There will be so many more edge cases in the front end that unless you plan it beforehand, let's say you didn't and you released, you're gonna panic the moment you're gonna release because people do not behave the way you think they will. Because you cannot predict that.
Like maybe also if they do it like purposely, like they want maybe to breach your website or want to do some malicious script in the form, so they may put a different input that was expected.
For example, I have an example, like the new iOS right now, the Tahoe, I think, or the liquid glass update that they have.
iOS like a phone or
for the phone, phone, yeah. They, you know how before on iPhone cameras they had like video, photo, pano, like every stuff. Now they only have photo and video.
Exactly.
It took me a minute to understand that I need to hold it to open the other fields.
Really?
Because I was like, okay, do I click here to have them all? Do I swipe? Like it's lost, right? Because probably the developer's like, oh, okay, they will by default understand that a long click will open those. But I'm a user. It didn't make sense to me. Like, okay, now that someone showed that this is how you open, this is cool.
Oh,
But,
really?
yeah.
You
Did you have the same problem, or did you?
Yeah, I have the same. I didn't even know before that you
Okay.
said. Right now, I know. Since you said it, I know that I have to hold the button
Yeah.
so that I can see other options like cinema and stuff. For me, I was like, probably they remove it. You have just to click the video, and then you will see like, other like functionality. I can see other functionality like above, like
Yeah, yeah.
to change to HD to 4K or stuff like
Exposure,
that.
stuff.
Exposure, yeah. But the type of video like cinematographic or other stuff, I'm not able to see it, and I was like,
Probably gone.
I'm probably gone.
Yeah, exactly, and that's like just one edge case.
Yeah.
There can be the bigger your app,
Mm.
the more confusing it will get to people, and the more testing you have to do, and the more research.
Yeah, but that's why I think when they release a new like version, they should at least tell us like.
I really don't like what they did. Like it makes no sense. I literally spent 15 seconds,
Yeah.
and then my friend just showed how it's opening, and I probably would have figured out by going on Google or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know.
It's not intuitive.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, but imagine like, people who we know in our family or relative, even myself, because I'm an engineer. When someone heard like you're a developer, programmer, they easily come up with their project. And I'm like, oh yeah, I want to build this app. I would want to build this website and stuff. Like they think like it's easy, like it's something that doesn't require a lot. So from your perspective, if someone has a project, an idea, what are the steps the person can follow to build a project that you will release so that people will use?
I had a lot of relatives like that who came with ideas,
Mm.
and I always had to tell them the same thing, that everyone has ideas,
Yeah.
and that's not what makes you an entrepreneur. That's not what makes you rich.
Yeah.
It's first finding the customers,
Okay.
and you should be able to find customers before you even have the app. I think the code is something that comes the last, because writing code now is very cheap with AI, of course,
Mm.
but writing good code is still very expensive.
Mm.
And to know if your idea actually works, you have to do a lot of steps. Okay, let's say you want to build a
Let's say dating app.
let's say a dating app.
Yeah.
You need to do user research. Like,
Mm.
who is it going to be for?
Mm.
Are you sure there's a market for dating apps?
Mm.
And are you sure that the app that you're going to do
Mm.
is going to survive? Because probably there are a lot of apps that are doing the same thing.
Mm.
Why are people going to use you?
Use one.
You do not
Mm.
create an app and then try to find users for it.
Okay.
You find users, interview them, do research with them, create like a MVP, but it doesn't have to be code. You can just go to Figma, design an app, hire a junior designer, or just do it yourself. Have a simple app, and then talk to the user saying, is this really what you would want? And they say, yeah, no. Then you redesign it again. Then you come to users, do it again. You think of all the edge cases that I mentioned,
Yeah.
and only then you do the coding. Because
Okay.
if you start with coding, you're gonna present the users, they'll be like, I don't need this. Then you spend 6 months building your app that no one needs. You spend probably, coding is expensive, so you probably spend like 10,000
Mm.
if you hired someone.
Mm.
And then you're just gonna stop saying, oh, my idea didn't work. No, you didn't actually develop the idea to the point that it will.
Mm.
You just directly thought, oh, this is a brilliant idea, let me build an app for it. But-
Like you assume directly that people will embrace it.
Yeah.
They love it. Really love
But
it.
you don't know. Like that's everyone has probably thousands of ideas
Mm.
through their lifetime.
Mm.
Maybe one's gonna click, but
Mm.
you don't know that, and you need to do research first instead of building stuff first. So, for me, think first, execute second.
So you think like most of people who come with those ideas first, they want to be like people in the field or outside of the field, because hearing you saying that is like, as you are in the field, you know what it takes to build an app and website, so you will not take that risk to go for building first. You need to make sure if people will embrace it. But do you think like people who come with those ideas are mostly people in the field also, or people outside the field and they don't even know a small research about what it takes to build an app?
I think it's mostly people outside of the field.
Yeah.
Even let's say you're not a coder, but you're still around that space. Let's say you're a project manager.
Mm.
You still understand what it takes to build an app,
Mm.
because Anyone who is within that realm, within that space, knows that it's not a 2-day thing. You could build a very low and very bad version of your app in 2-3 days. Like that's why hackathons exist.
Yeah.
That is great. Like I'm forward to that.
Mm.
If it takes you less than a week to build a prototype of your app, just do it. You're not gonna spend much time. You're not gonna spend much money, and you're gonna have fun in the process. So do it, and then see if it works. But don't spend 6 months building an app that you don't know if it's gonna use. And I think once you're in the field, you kind of understand that. Like it comes naturally.
You don't want to waste your time.
No, why would you waste 6 months for an app that no one's gonna use?
Probably you get experience.
But you're gonna waste 6 months.
Yeah.
Get experience in 1 or 2.
Okay.
That's what I would say.
So, but about the budget, like the minimum budget, if someone is out of the field, but he has all the data, like he asks some user, they say, okay, your app is interesting, we're gonna use it. This is something that we need. There is no one, like there is a market available for it, and you want to go for it, but it doesn't have the knowledge of the budget. So for you, what is the minimum budget? And also, let's say probably for a dating app, it's better to start with a website or to go directly with a mobile app.
Budget, I cannot say because in France and where I'm from in Turkmenistan, the prices will be very different to start.
Let's say in France, if you have an idea.
So let's get it straight. You're in France, you don't know how to code, and you're just willing to spend money to build an app.
Yeah.
I would say don't do it. Like, still, no matter how much money you have, don't do it. I would propose another way is find a technical co-founder and tell him, okay, I'm going to pay you salary until we get some funding. And we're going to divide 60-40 or like 50-50, however you want. Because you need to trust, you need someone you can trust with the code. Because you don't understand the code yourself. If you don't trust the person who wrote the code for you, no matter how good the code is written, you don't know and you're not going to trust it. But if you trust the person and you're both in it equally, you can be the business guy or the businesswoman that is handling all the operations, the marketing, the everything. Tech people do not like dealing with that. So you can say, you control everything related to coding. I will control everything related to business. So you both have equal contribution to the product. And at that point, it doesn't matter the budget. Spend 3,000 for the first month. Build the MVP, go to a hackathon, go to a networking event, try your idea, get 100 users to try, like fill up a Google form, like cut expenses. AI is cheap. ChatGPT subscription is like $20. Get the best AI that you can, make them build the code, like leave the technical founder to understand everything, build everything for you in a week. Go to the networking events, show your app, collect feedback, and then see if you guys want to continue. Otherwise, you will spend money. You will not know what your app is. You will not know the person who built the app. They will build and leave. And then you cannot just say, okay, I'll find someone else to build the app later. It doesn't work like that. Like, you need someone that's going to be around you. So, and to the second question, I don't think it matters. The website is fine first because it's easier to build a website and apps are much more tougher to build because you need to pass Apple checks, you need to pass Android checks to appear on the Play Market. So for the first 500 users, do not think of an app at all.
But you say something about like you should go to the hackathon and conference showing your idea, and probably people will accept or not, we say if it's a good thing or not. Do you think it's safe to show your project first? So what if someone has steal your idea and build your project because probably has a good networking, has money to hire a good developer and stuff? What do you think about it?
I think ideas are worthless. Like unless it's an idea that can cure cancer or something very, very great, then maybe there's a reason to hold. Like even then, there's no reason to hold on it because if you know how to cure cancer, why are you holding it to yourself, right?
No, you're holding it until you will release it so that you'll be the one benefit on it first. Maybe,
but I really think it makes sense to let your idea out as possible. Like you want to be vocal on social media, you want to go to talk to angel investors, you want to go to talk to VCs, you want to go networking saying, hey, I'm building this, does someone want to join me and build it with me? Because idea itself, it's a small thing. Like one, no one knows if it's gonna work. Two, no one knows how it's gonna work. Three, no one knows why it's gonna work. So you have the idea, and you will need to figure out yourself. People have 1,000 ideas anyways. Why would they think that your idea is better when they have theirs? So I think at the idea stage, it's not a competition. It's more like, I would say it's more risky once you go higher and you have like users and they'll say, oh, okay, this is a nice feature, I might copy from you. Then you need to, again, focus on being better. So
No, focus on hiding yourself.
no, I never hide your ideas.
Okay.
Don't shout them in the street, of course. If you're showing it, at least show that you're working for it. It's not just, oh, I have an idea, but I didn't start. So what's the point? But if you say, okay, I have an idea, this is the research I'm doing, and we'll see what goes from it, then it's like, oh, it gives you credibility.
That's really quality advice, though.
Thanks.
Because we have a lot of idea. You know, some people contact me. They have idea of doing things. Myself also have some idea. You know, building hub and stuff. But you know, sometimes we struggle with the thing. You say to go first to customer or first to start building, and to also try to get someone, like you say, co-founder, to convince. What is you can say, if you have advice or tips that we can practice to convince someone to join your project, what would be?
You need really good soft skills.
Yeah.
And you need to, because without soft skills, you cannot convince them. And you need to do at least research, because if I say, hey, Joel, I'm building a dating app, please join. Did it make you want to join?
No.
You will think it's just another dating
I
app.
think maybe you are drunk.
Yeah. But if I say, hey, Joel, I have a community with 1,000 members that I interviewed, and my dating, like I have an idea of a dating app that will be different for that region. We will also use, let's say it's very popular now, AI, that is gonna help them build more mature connections. And right now it's just a community group in Telegram, but they want a platform and they're really willing to pay. So I say in 3-4 months we can do a beta launch. Is this a more interesting way to convince you? I'm just making stuff up, so it might be a bit weird right now, but at least I show you that it's not just an idea. It's already something that is going on, and right now I cannot do it alone, and I need a partner. But if I just say, oh, it's a dating app, even I don't believe an idea. Like, I need to be. It's not okay. Yeah, if I just say believing an idea, you can say, oh, this app is so good, but why is it so good? Like, where are the users? Where are the clients? Yeah, show me the data. Of course.
Okay. Something that supports why I should join you.
For example, let's say I might be misquoting it, but I saw some data that 90% of the podcasts stop before reaching episode 10.
No, really?
Yeah.
I don't know that. Which episode now for me? So I still need 3 to testify stuff or not.
But that's the data, right? So it's like you need to show commitment. It's not just, oh yeah, I have this idea. Like, you need to go forward. Everyone has ideas. So that's where I stand. It's more about the execution, because that's the tough part.
Yeah. Maybe to the convincing part, the beginning part, because the beginning is tough.
Because let's say I'll be the business guy and you'll be the developer.
Yeah.
I need to convince you that I can run the business while you run the technology, right? Because if I cannot convince you that I can do marketing, that I can talk to people, that I can find clients, you will be building for nothing.
Yeah.
So I need to work on those skills so that you decide that I'm a trustworthy partner to continue our entrepreneurial adventure.
Yeah. Sometimes it's when you watch on YouTube some inspirational story. Jeff Bezos was coding, in a small apartment, Elon Musk, blah, blah, blah. They don't sometimes say the details,
Did you know that all of them were rich before? Like, the garage is probably bigger than the room. So, no, like, Elon Musk was very rich since he was a kid. They are showing the story to make them look better. So, I don't know.
As you say that Elon Musk and others was rich, so you think that money helps to your success on tech. Like, if you want to build something, you have an entrepreneurial spirit in tech. You want to build a technology or something. You think money?
Yeah, of course.
Play a big role.
I think it definitely helps. I'm not gonna say that it's the only factor.
Yeah.
But all those rich billionaires that we have now, they were rich before. It doesn't mean that they're not smart, because what they did with the money that they have is very smart. You could have $1 million and be very stupid. So it doesn't mean that they are not smart. But having that money means you also have connections.
Okay.
So when Elon Musk was building PayPal, he met with Peter Thiel, who is now also a billionaire. So you know the network that is kind of a very rich circle. So it's easier for you to start. It doesn't mean that it's the only way. For example, I might be not very correct, but out of the top, the top 100 richest people on earth, like the Forbes list, I think there is only one person that is self-made millionaire, and that is Jeff Ma, the Alibaba. Jack Ma.
Yeah.
He is the only one who is self-made.
Oh, really?
But other than that, it's either inherited money from parents or tech billionaires that were already rich when they started.
So there are people who have some kind of a base and then they build upon it. Even this guy of NVIDIA also is not self-made?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I think self-made means really starting from the bottom.
Yeah.
And I think Jack Ma was I think there was a story where
he was a teacher, right?
No, he was applying to KFC, and there were 17 applicants. They took 16, only one failed, and that was Jack Ma.
Oh, really?
So he was applying everywhere.
And
he was failing, and then but he knew a lot of I think he knew English very well, and he was an English teacher. So when China wanted to sell their stuff, he was very active because of his knowledge in English. So it was also a good luck for him. But I think the other, I might need to cross-check that information. But I saw that it was only him, and that's how I remembered it.
Probably I'll be the next in the list.
Hopefully. It's very tough, but...
Our self-made billionaire, top 100.
Yeah.
Kaboom.
Good luck to that. No need to be a billionaire. A couple of millions should be enough.
It's really enough.
Yeah.
The essential is to be happy.
Yeah, of course.
The most important thing. But let's talk about your international journey. I actually love it. Like, you grew up in Turkmenistan, you was in Turkey, now you're in France. I think in Europe you visit a lot of countries, many countries.
It's very nice to have a...
Yeah, so can you tell us about your journey in Turkey? I think it's where you learned computer science, right?
Yep, it's where I did my bachelor's. It was in Bilkent University. And I lived in Turkey for 5 years.
For 5 years?
Yeah.
So how was computer science there? Was like more theoretical and exam, or you were really getting your hands dirty with projects?
I think it was mostly exams and very theoretical. Like a lot of classes that we had nothing to do with programming. It was just like how computers work. There were 2-3 classes that were more project based, where we built an app, did research, but mostly it was algorithms, theory, and all the code that we wrote was on paper. So
on paper?
Yeah, we had our exams on paper and we had to write code. So that was a very interesting experience. I kind of like it. I still write code on paper sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's good because when you write something, it helps you to think about it, to record it, and so you will have a clear mind and understanding of the code.
And it's easy to draw, It's so I really like coding on paper and then kind of seeing where am I doing it right, am I doing it wrong, and yeah.